Hello, my name is Fernando, and I feel like I got a message. And of course, I'm sure that you've heard that hundreds of times, but I think this is a little bit different because I don't get caught up in religion. There's nothing about religion or church that I'm going to promote or I'm going to push. I'm not a pastor. There's nothing about church and religion that I think is prosperous. But I do feel like I do have a message. I do feel like I do have an understanding of how things should be, how things should go. And it really has to do with breaking down that difference between what is God and what is church, what is religion. I'm going to do that slowly, but first I'm just going to tell you about me, because of course that's what arrogant people do. We talk about ourselves. So first of all, I was born Catholic. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, married into a Mormon family, and then my grandma, who was Jehovah's Witness, gave me a Bible, a King James version that was written, published by the Mormons. And it kind of blew me away because she was so excited that I was willing to take a Bible. She gave me her favorite Bible, and this Jehovah's Witness gave me a Mormon Bible, a Mormon published of the King James version. I took my family to church for the first time. We went to a Pentecostal church and I totally became saved. I became a Baptist preacher, and then I became an atheist. And I spent 2 years trying to figure out what was going on. I really couldn't just grasp the idea of being atheist. There's so many things that are tied up with church, so many things that are tied up with religion, tied up with God. And I couldn't justify certain things in the religion, and I definitely couldn't justify certain things as an atheist. And then after the 2 years of struggle, I just gave in to being an atheist. It was freedom. It was salvation. And it's so funny because living my life struggling between believing in God and walking that fine line, being a sinner, and then becoming saved, I felt such incredible freedom. Freedom that only somebody who was a sinner and was saved could feel. And then, when I became an atheist, it was an even greater feeling of freedom. Just unbelievable, that feeling that you're wrong, that you're sin nature, that you're just not doing things the right way. It was just such an incredible feeling to have that lifted from me. And then I met this beautiful woman, and she changed my life. And I believe in God again. And going from being a preacher to an atheist to believing in God, I gained another level of freedom that was just unbelievable. But I also gained an understanding of why people do things, why people stay in things, why people can't let go of things that don't make sense. And the most important thing is I realized that in my life, I've had an incredible ability to speak and to reason and to justify. And I could take contradictions in the Bible and I could totally justify. I could totally make different scriptures fit, even though they probably had no business fitting at all. I've come to understand that there's three things that keep people tied up in religion. And not God, but tied up in religion. And the first one is, how do you console somebody with the idea without the idea of God? How do you tell somebody who's got cancer, how do you tell somebody who's just lost a loved one, that there's a plan, there's a purpose, and everything is going to be all right? I've lost several people in my life that are just amazing, and they believed in God. One of them didn't, two of them did. And it was just unreal to hear people tell me they're in a better place. They're in a better place. This is God's plan. Doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Second reason I think people hold on to religion outside of reasoning is I believe that we are afraid of our own immortality. I feel that we are so afraid to die. We don't want to let go of this place, our possessions, the things that we have. We are so entwined with stuff that we never want to lose stuff. We never want to lose this life. We never want to not be. It scares us to get old, and it scares us to die. But with religion, we have this promise of living forever. Who doesn't want to live forever? And isn't that one of the scare tactics that religions use? Do you want to die? Don't you want to live forever? Do you want to go to hell? Do you want to go to heaven? Like that idea that we are promised something greater than this life if we just believe, if we just pay our tithings, if we just do this and do that. But we do, because that idea of dying is scary. But I really think that the most important thing that we want from religion is every one of us has somebody that we truly loved, somebody that just broke our heart when they died, and we hold on to religion because we want to see that person again, because religion gives us that promise that they're looking at us right now, or that we'll see them in the future. And there's no proof of that. I'm not saying that it is or it isn't at all. All I'm saying is those are the three things that makes us hold on to religion. It makes us hold on to church. And if those things are real, then that has to do with God. It does not have to do with religion at all. And I think that's what my message really is. You know, in this day and age, our youth are so smart, and it's such an information now society. Whenever I tell, because I coach high school football, and when I would tell these kids something, sometimes the kids would say, you know, we can Google that, coach. Or they'd say, I'm going to look that up as soon as I get home. Can't lie to kids. And we can't tell kids that they should believe in what we believe in when they see our actions. When we tell them that this is what we believe, and they're the ones that see us not walking it out, not believing it, like, we can't lie. And the youth, I mean, that's our future. And they're turning away from the idea of God so fast because the idea of religion just doesn't make sense to them anymore. Plus, I think that there are men in this world that could change society, that could change the way things are, that can make a better life. But they want nothing to do with religion. There are so many exciting manly things to do on Sundays than to go to church. Whether it's sports, NASCAR, golf, barbecuing with your family. Like, why would these mighty men want to go to a church where they got to learn about humbling themselves to a point where they're afraid to make mistakes? I think the thing about being a man, especially from what I've seen in the Bible, is making mistakes, and making mistakes with passion. But I believe I have a message, and my message is there's a difference between God, religion, and church. And I feel like my walk, my life's path, has showed me so many things. I've had the opportunity to listen, I've had the opportunity to study, I've had the opportunity to preach, and I feel like God has put it on my heart to reach this generation, because I believe that God needs men, mighty men, but God's pretty tired of religion, and He's definitely tired of church. And those are some things that I will touch later on. I want to thank you for listening to the end. See you next time.